Hi.
Hello.
How old are you?
63 years.
Okay, where were you born?
Mumbai, India.
Where did you grow up?
Mumbai, India.
Where were your parents lived, born?
Parents were parents lived in Mumbai,
Okay.
and
When did you come to Canada?
2004
Why did you choose Canada?
because of better opportunities.
Okay. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yes,
Where are they born?
born in Mumbai.
What is the occupation of your parents?
Father was an accountant. He was a merchant before, and then he became an accountant.
Okay. What is your marital status?
Married.
How would you describe your ethnic background?
Southeast Asian.
Thank you. How would you describe your religious background, identity?
Islam.
Like
Muslim.
what kind of tradition? Muslim, very religious, liberal, Salafi, Sufi,
Hanafi.
Hanafi Muslim. Okay. Are you a long term? Okay, you're are you Canadian citizen?
Canadian citizen, yes.
Okay. How long have you lived in Canada? 14 years.
Little more than 13 years.
Okay. What's your highest education degree?
Science undergraduate and then certified cardiovascular perfusionist.
Okay. What kind of elementary and secondary school did you attend?
English medium.
Like private, public, Islamic?
Private.
Okay. Are you employed?
Yes.
What's your current occupation?
It is clinical perfusionist, a job in open heart surgery.
Okay. Do you feel generational or cultural or linguistic or religious gap with your parents? Do you feel generational? Has your internet usage increased or decreased in the last 5 years?
Increased.
On average, how many hours per day, per week, per month do you use internet, including cell phones, checking mails, for work, study?
Maximum 2 hours per
Okay.
day.
Thank you. So on topic of what you do online, do you use internet for religious purposes?
Sometimes.
Okay. How is internet impacting or affecting your religious or spiritual practices, beliefs, values, or attitudes?
Moderate effect.
Okay. Do your faith, beliefs, and practices affect how you use the internet and what you do online?
Yes, I use internet only for my work, for my personal emails, for my banking, and sometimes if I need to find something on the internet. I do not go on the sites which are not relevant to me.
So your faith is affecting your...
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any faith-based limitations in using internet?
Like, I would not like to go on sites which are not necessary and like I'm not a social media person. I don't have any Facebook or Instagram or any kind of things like I keep on keeping in touch with people or sites which are not which is not acceptable to my morals.
Okay. Do you think the internet enhances your faith or operates more as a distraction or changes your faith in any way?
Internet can be a distraction if it is just used for Um, for for uh, for reasons which are not directly impacting your life, and it can be a source of distraction if you're always attracted to the internet for most of the time without doing any significant work on that, or without having any significant purpose to use the internet. It can
Okay.
be a source of distraction.
Thank you. So, for your religious purposes or for your religious life, in general, internet works for better or worse?
It all depends on how you use the thing. Anything can be good or bad depending on its use. Same thing, internet is an excellent source of knowledge and expanding the knowledge what you need to know if it is used in the right way.
Okay. What does it mean you to be Muslim living in Canada?
I feel myself very fortunate to be in one of the best European countries as a Muslim. Canada is very secular, very tolerant, people are very adjustable, and I have, in the last 13 years, I have not felt that I am isolated in this place. My colleagues in my department, they respect me, they respect my religion, and they know what I believe in my religion, like the halal food and not eating the pork or anything, and they respect me. So I feel that I have no complaints living in Canada as a Muslim.
Thank you. How do you identify yourself religiously and nationally? Like, do you see yourself as a Canadian Muslim, a Muslim Canadian, or other like Indian Muslim, Muslim Indian, anything?
Of course, I am Muslim first, and then Canadian is my citizenship. So I am born Muslim, and
Muslim Canadian?
I'm proud to be a Muslim Canadian.
Thank you. Do you tend to have friends of the same ethnic or religious background as you, or not?
At the workplace, I have friends from other religions, and I had no problem with them right from my upbringing in a non-Muslim country, India. I had non-Muslim friends, and I have been very comfortable with them, and I have no complaint.
Thank you. Has the circle of your offline friends changed as you grow older?
Not much.
Okay. Has the circle of your online friends changed as you grow older?
I like online friends. I do not have friends online whom I don't know personally. I have friends with whom I communicate online are my friends whom I know personally.
Okay, thank you. Do you change your way of behaving depending on the ethnic or cultural background of the group of friends you are with?
I am comfortable with Muslims as well as non-Muslims. I do not try to bring in religion all the time with my friends, but I keep myself aware of what I am supposed to be, and I will not compromise my basic principles
Okay.
when I'm with my non-Muslim
But are you
friends.
changing your behaviors or you are the same?
Yeah,
wherever
I
you-
mean, depends on what kind of behavior. I'm not going to go partying with them. I'm not going to drink if they are having beer in a party. I'm not going to have beer with them. So I keep my faith to myself, but I will not impose it on others.
Okay. What about online? Like you're changing your behaviors or you don't change?
Now, as I mentioned, I have not much communication with the unknown friends online.
Mhm.
So,
It will be the same.
yeah.
Thank you. Do you feel a generational or cultural or linguistic or religious gap with your parents?
I never felt that.
Okay, thank you. Would you discuss with them, with your parents, are they alive or they are died? Okay, not
No,
applicable question.
yeah.
Does gender play a role in how you socialize or do you not socialize or interact with some people?
To a certain extent, yes. Like I will not be mixing with the opposite sex as with the men.
Okay, so
I'll keep myself. I'll have my certain limitations
okay, so who do you socialize with? Mainly with the same gender then?
generally.
Okay, any
Unless it's a hospital party or a department party, then of course you have staff of the opposite sex also.
okay, any ethnic, religious, or intellectual preferences?
I do not try to impose my preferences, but as I mentioned, they respect you, and many times in our parties,
okay.
in our parties, they always know what I like and what I don't like.
Okay, so when you socialize with the people, do you have any ethnic, religious, or intellectual preference? Like you want to, like for example, to be socialize with the Indians or Pakistanis?
I do not have a
or
choice.
Muslims?
I do not have a
Okay.
choice in my company.
Okay.
I
so
do not have any Indians. I
Okay.
have only one Indian, obviously Indian.
Okay, where do you socialize? Parks, coffee shops, community centers, homes, malls?
Socialize with the family friends or
With all people, yeah, in general.
we socialize at home. We invite people. We have our hospital parties in the restaurants, in the hospital.
Okay, thank you. If you wish to remain gender segregated, how is this maintained online?
It's not applicable to me.
Thank you. Do you find that online communities offer opportunities to find friends, companions, or a life partner?
I do not do that.
So, do you think it's possible?
Have you used online communities this way? No.
Thank you. How has the internet affected the way you feel connected to your Muslim and non-Muslim friends in Canada or in other places?
Online internet does provide you opportunities of knowing people in your community, and it also allows us to communicate with our non-Muslim friends in Canada and outside Canada. It is a good line of communication. Internet is an excellent communication to be connected with people of your own community as well as non-Muslim friends.
Which do you belong to any online communities or groups, Islamic groups or communities, internet online? No.
I don't know.
Thank you. And does information you find online and the communities or people you relate to online affect your religious practices and beliefs offline?
Yes, sometimes if you find some good religious teachers and you really find that it is based on the true concepts of Quran and Hadith, and then it can affect your spiritual life, and you try to follow that. But it has to be properly examined, because most of the internet online religious propaganda is not to be accepted.
Okay, So, do you use the online media in practice of your faith? Like, are you buying religious goods online?
No,
Okay. Are you accessing the religious literature online?
no,
Are you using Islamic application in your phone?
no. I don't have any apps.
Okay. Does your usage of internet, including sites to read Quran online? Like, do you read the Quran online?
Very rarely.
Okay. Do you look at sites that deal with Islamic fiqh online?
Rarely.
Hadith searching online?
Very rarely.
Islamic blogs?
No.
Okay. How do you decide whether an Islamic website is authentic?
Arabic language instruction websites.
Yeah,
I
I
need
just
to read the Quran. No.
I don't think you're using it. How do you decide whether an Islamic website is authentic or appropriate and that you can trust it?
That's a very good question, and that is the main problem with the current generation, because what they say is don't make it like a don't ask Google everything about Islam, because unless you know that it is based on the teachings of Quran and Hadith, and only those things should be trusted, and not the preachings of all the so-called scholars on the internet.
Okay, thank you. What signs do you look for to ensure it is authentic or appropriate?
Unless
the
they,
Usage of the language, cited sources, logos, references to
Yes.
known scholars, known Quranic verses.
yes, like cited sources, references to known scholars, known Quranic verses or hadiths.
Okay, thank you. What are the Islamic websites that have had the most influence on you or that affected your beliefs and practices? Do you have an Islamic website that affected your beliefs?
Actually, I'm not a person who always goes on the Islamic websites for everything, and so because I'm not sure about what those sites are, so I hardly go to the website to search anything. If I have to, I'll ask the imams of the masjid where I pray if I have any question.
Okay, thank you. When you visit websites, are particular school of the Mazhab important in your determination of their appropriateness?
Yes, generally I would like to go and see the mazhab to which I belong, like Sunnis, Hanafi.
Thank you. What are the Islamic... Okay, if you attend a mosque that is affiliated with a particular school of the Mazhab, does it have an impact on your selection of the Islamic websites? Like if you're going to a Hanafi mosque, does
Yeah, but especially in North America, you go to any mosque where it's convenient, and people pray differently over here, so it does not affect me.
Thank you. So do you accept or are you open to all interpretations and doctrines of Islam?
I may not accept, but I am open.
Thank you. What kind of information do you find most helpful in an online context in comparison with an offline engagement with your religious beliefs and practices?
As I mentioned, I am not a person who goes and takes the help of online references if I am able to get the same answers from offline engagement with the Imam of the Masjid.
Okay, are there certain situations or moments where online spaces offer better support or Islamic information than offline spaces? Like for more private matters or alternative lifestyles that you don't want to ask the sheikh since it's private and you just go to Google or internet or any website to check online about these things. Is there such a moment?
Maybe, but I have not used it.
Thank you. What are your feelings encountering online interpretations of Islam that differ from or conflict with your own beliefs and practices.